When Doom at Your Service first graced the screens, audiences expected a unique fantasy romance, but what they didn't expect was that the heart of the story would stretch beyond the screen and into the lives of its leading stars. Seo In-guk and Jung So-min came together as Mile Mang and Tak Dong-kyung, two characters bound by fate, time, and love. Yet what began as just another casting pairing quickly transformed into something far more fascinating, a connection so magnetic, so effortlessly real, that fans around the world began to wonder whether this was a romance written only for television, or perhaps a love story crafted by destiny itself. The brilliance of their performance wasn't simply in how they delivered their lines or kissed under perfectly timed lighting. It was in the way their eyes lingered, in the way laughter seemed to burst naturally between them, in the small, fleeting gestures that no script could ever direct. For years, both actors had shown their versatility on screen. Seo In-guk, the once shy singer who rose to become one of Korea's most celebrated actors, carried the weight of charisma, charm, and depth. Jung So-min, with her refreshing honesty and natural acting style, had carved out her own space as one of the most beloved actresses of her generation. But when these two stood side by side, something rare happened. They didn't just act. They lived their characters. Fans knew immediately that this pairing was different. The chemistry was electric, yet was not forced or exaggerated. It felt genuine, like two souls had simply found each other. Behind-the-scenes clips revealed Seo In-guk teasing Jung So-min just enough to make her laugh in that unguarded, heartfelt way fans adored. She, in turn, seemed completely at ease with him, her usual quiet shyness dissolving into playful warmth. The staff noticed it, the media noticed it, and most importantly, the fans noticed it. Suddenly, the conversations surrounding Doom at Your Service were less about the plot and more about whether Seo In-guk and Jung So-min had carried something off-screen as well. Their press conference interactions were telling. When asked about their partnership, Seo In-guk spoke not only of Jung So-min's talent but of her kindness, her ability to make every scene believable. He praised her with a sincerity that seemed to momentarily soften his usually reserved exterior. Jung So-min responded in kind, calling him someone who brings ease and belief into every moment. Their words sounded professional, but their gazes and shy smiles revealed something more tender, something layered beneath the polished answers expected at such events. It was almost as though they couldn't help but let small glimpses of their true feelings escape. For the audience, it became increasingly difficult to separate Mile Mang and Dong-kyung from Seo In-guk and Jung So-min. The intensity of their kiss scenes became viral sensations not because of choreography or camera work, but because of the authenticity. These were kisses that didn't look rehearsed. They looked lived. Viewers pointed out the way his hands would linger on her cheek a beat too long, or the way her eyes softened as though she had forgotten they were being filmed. These subtle details added a rawness that no director could manufacture, and fans began to believe that what they were watching wasn't just performance, it was revelation. Even after the drama ended, the whispers did not. In fact, they grew louder. Eagle-eyed fans noticed little coincidences that seemed too deliberate to ignore. Instagram posts that shared oddly similar moods or captions appeared within days of each other. Accessories, from bracelets to jackets, sparked debates about whether they were sharing more than just screen time. These weren't grand, obvious declarations, but small, almost secretive signs, the kind that only fuel curiosity further. Were they intentionally leaving breadcrumbs for their fans, or were these simply coincidences being magnified by wishful hearts? What makes this supposed love story so powerful is that it mirrors the very essence of Doom at Your Service. Just like in the drama, fate and choice seemed to intertwine. Was it mere chance that they were cast together, or was this a meeting orchestrated by something larger, something more cosmic? And much like their characters, they seemed to bring light into each other's worlds. Seo In-guk, often described as private and introverted, appeared lighter, freer, and almost mischievous when Jung So-min was near. Jung So-min, usually grounded and modest, seemed to glow with a playful warmth in his presence. They reflected each other, balanced each other, and unknowingly convinced millions of people that they were witnessing something genuine unfold. The fascination surrounding their connection only deepened because they never outright denied or confirmed the rumors. Instead, They seem to exist in a delicate dance of subtle acknowledgments, never giving too much away, but never closing the door either. Unlike some celebrity pairs who shy away from speculation, Seo and Guk and Jung So-min allowed the world to see enough to keep the mystery alive. This openness, without confirmation, created a space where fans could dream, hope, and believe. And perhaps that is why their love story continues to live on, regardless of what the truth may be. Psychologists often say that body language reveals what words cannot. Watching Seo and Guk and Jung So-min together, fans noticed the micro-expressions, the way they mirrored each other's movements unconsciously, the way they leaned into each other without thought, the way smiles seemed reserved exclusively for one another. These are the tiny details that cannot be scripted, the subconscious reflections of a deeper bond. Even in interviews, they often looked to each other for silent reassurance before answering, as though they spoke a language only they understood. For fans, this was confirmation enough. Something real existed between them, whether defined by love, friendship, or destiny. But what makes their story so captivating isn't simply the idea of romance, it's what it represents. Seo and Guk and Jung So-min's connection stands as a reminder of how art imitates life and how life sometimes gives back to art. Their pairing embodies hope, the kind of hope audiences cling to when they watch dramas about love conquering time, fate, and even doom itself. They remind people that real love stories, even if hidden, are possible. Years later, when people talk about Doom at Your Service, they often skip past the details of the plot. Instead, they recall the spark between its leads, the undeniable magic that outshone even the fantasy elements of the drama. It wasn't Mile Mang and Dong Kyung who remained in their hearts, it was Seo and Guk and Jung So-min. And that, perhaps, is the most telling sign that their story transcended fiction. In the ever-watchful world of Korean entertainment, where relationships are often kept secret and speculations can turn careers upside down, Seo and Guk and Jung So-min managed to craft a narrative that was both private and public, hidden yet visible. They gave the world just enough to believe in their bond, but never so much as to let it be dissected beyond recognition. This delicate balance is why their story feels timeless. It belongs not only to them but also to every fan who dared to believe in it. Some stories are written in scripts, others improvised on the spot, and a rare few are written by destiny itself. Seo and Guk and Jung So-min's love, whether real, rumored, or imagined, belongs to that rare category. It has outlived the drama that introduced it, growing into a legend that continues to inspire endless edits, fanfics, and discussions. It has become larger than the show itself, a living testament to the power of human connection. And perhaps that is why this love story is so unforgettable. It isn't about what has been confirmed or denied. It isn't about flashy public gestures or bold declarations. It is about the quiet, unspoken magic that two people share when the cameras stop rolling. It is about the lingering looks, the shy smiles, the laughter that can't be hidden. It is about hope, fate, and the possibility that love can bloom even in the most unexpected places. Seo and Guk and Jung So-min may never officially tell the world the full truth of their relationship, and maybe they don't need to. Because in the eyes of their fans, they have already given enough. They have shown that love, whether real or real, has the power to outshine even doom itself. And that is the legacy of their story, a love story that began with a drama but grew into something far more enduring, something whispered in the hearts of millions, something destined to be remembered long after the cameras stopped rolling. Love stories in the K-drama world have always carried a certain magic, but the story of Seo and Guk and Jung So-min is different. It's not only about what we watched on screen in Doom at Your Service, it's about what continues to ripple through time, long after the drama ended. It is about the mystery, the whispers, the sparks that never quite died down. And perhaps that's what makes their story so irresistible. Unlike a drama that neatly ties every loose end in its final episode, their bond feels open-ended, still being written day by day. It is in that space between reality and imagination that fans find themselves entranced. What captivates people the most is the authenticity of it all. The glances they shared, the way they laughed as though no cameras were watching, the almost childlike comfort they seem to bring each other. These things are not easily faked. In fact, many fans argue that the sincerity of their connection is what elevated Doom at Your Service into something unforgettable. It wasn't only about fate, doom, or time. It was about watching two people create a love story that blurred the boundaries between real and real. And this fascination has not dimmed with time. Even now, clips of their behind-the-scenes moments circulate online, sparking new debates and theories. Some fans believe Seo and Guk and Jung So-min might be quietly protecting their relationship from the public eye, choosing privacy over spectacle. Others believe theirs is a rare kind of bond that transcends romance, a deep friendship built on trust and respect that feels just as meaningful. Regardless of where the truth lies, one thing is certain. Their connection continues to inspire conversation, wonder, and even hope. In a world where news cycles move fast and dramas come and go, why do Seo and Guk and Jung So-min remain such a constant topic? The answer lies in what they represent. They remind fans that love, in its truest form, doesn't always need validation or labels. Sometimes it simply exists, radiating quietly, speaking through gestures, smiles, and presence rather than words. Their story is powerful because it doesn't beg to be believed. It simply is. But the beauty of this ongoing story is that it doesn't just belong to them anymore. It belongs to the fans who watch their every interaction, the ones who create edits, write fanfictions, and build entire online communities dedicated to celebrating their chemistry. It belongs to those who, even years later, can't help but revisit Doom at Your Service just to relive the spark they brought to the screen. In many ways, this love story is no longer confined to the actors. It has become part of the audience, part of the collective imagination of K-drama lovers around the world. And that is where Midnight in Seoul steps in. Because love stories like this are not meant to be experienced alone. They are meant to be shared, discussed, dissected, and celebrated together. My channel is more than just a space for K-drama recaps or celebrity news. It is a gathering place for those who believe in the magic of stories like Seo and Guk and Jung So-min's. At Midnight in Seoul, we dive deeper than headlines. We explore the emotions, the behind-the-scenes secrets, the cultural nuances, and the little details that often go unnoticed. We keep the conversations alive, even long after the final episode has aired. If you felt your heart race during Doom at Your Service, if you found yourself replaying those iconic scenes just to catch the flicker of genuine feeling in their eyes, then you belong with us. If you've ever wondered whether their laughter off-screen was scripted or real, if you've ever smiled at the thought that maybe, just maybe, destiny had a hand in their meeting, then Midnight in Seoul is your home. This is where we keep those sparks alive, where every detail matters, and where your love for K-drama becomes part of something larger. The story of Seo and Guk and Jung So-min is not finished. It's still unfolding, still whispered about, still adored by millions who want to believe in something deeper. And that's the kind of story we live for. At Midnight in Seoul, we don't just retell dramas, we extend them. We let them breathe in our conversations, we give them new life through our discussions, and we ensure they remain unforgettable. Because what's the point of watching a love story if you can't carry it with you afterward? So consider this your invitation. If you're reading these words and feeling that familiar tug of curiosity, that thrill of possibility, then it's time to take the next step. Subscribe to Midnight in Seoul and become part of a community that doesn't just watch K-dramas but loves them. Together, we'll explore the untold stories, the hidden romances, the chemistry that outshines scripts, and the magic that lingers long after the cameras stop rolling. Seo and Guk and Jung So-min may never confirm exactly what they mean to each other, but in a way, they don't have to. They've already given us something priceless, a love story that feels real enough to believe in, a connection strong enough to outshine Doom itself. And at Midnight in Seoul, we will keep believing, keep celebrating, and keep carrying their story forward. Because some tales are too beautiful to let fade away. So join us. Let's relive the moments that made our hearts skip a beat. Let's uncover the secrets behind the smiles, and let's keep the spark alive together. The night may be long, but with stories like these, the hours fly by. And at midnight in Seoul, there will always be room for more dreamers, more believers, and more fans like you. Click that subscribe button, become part of the journey, and let's continue to celebrate the love story that outshined doom at your service. Because the drama may have ended, but the story, the real story, is just getting started.